Radical.
I tell you, I really regret missing these Christmas games. I've seen highlights from the Warriors Suns game, the Nets Lakers game, Celtics and Bucks, but all but the Hawks Knicks game, these are pretty close games. Mavericks lost by 4 to the Jazz, hard fought. Warriors, not a blowout over the Suns. Celtics and Bucks, that could have went either way. Nets won by 7 over the Lakers. And I specifically would have liked to watch that game because the Lakers came back. They even tied it at 115 all. They came back and tied it. I think they went on a 31-8 run. But yeah, I'm just going to regret, missing a lot of these games. Now, I want to talk about two of these briefly. The Warriors and Suns. I think the Warriors and Suns, they are up 2-1 on their series against the Suns. And the Warriors were, of course, missing Klay Thompson. They were missing, seems like a couple of people. Of course, Wiseman. I think they were missing Wiggins, weren't they? They weren't at full strength, is what I'm saying. And they still beat the Suns. Those two right there, arguably, I think those are the two best teams right now in the NBA. And the Warriors handled them. So I would say the Warriors, far and away, probably the best team currently in the NBA. I mean, I don't know if anybody's going to really argue with that a whole lot because I'm just looking at how good they're going to be, when Klay gets back specifically, because teams won't be able to double up on Curry anymore. So that's a whole problem to deal with when you get one of the Splash Brothers coming back, and their bench production is just freaking amazing. Next year, I think they're only going to get better. I think next year's Warriors team, if everyone stays healthy, that might be one of the legendary teams, even more so than their teams half a decade ago. Now, on the Nets and Lakers, again, I wish I could have saw that one. Harden had a great performance. The Nets were without Durant, and they were without Kyrie Irving. So if there's any opportunity for LeBron's Lakers to kind of, just have a big win, an emphatic big win, this was it. I mean, and LeBron, I'll give him his credit here. Like I've said many times before, I don't personally like LeBron, but I think he scored 39 points in this game. He spearheaded a big comeback, and give him his credit. He was really balling out in this game. But what happens is Russell Westbrook comes back in the game, and he promptly messes things up. I looked at some of the footage. He was 4 for 20 in this game. 4 for 20. He just couldn't find a basket. 4 for 20, doing the turnovers. Let's talk about briefly Russell Westbrook. And it's not anything that's going to shock you, but he is around 30% from 3, and he's 65% from the free throw line. That's your starting point guard. Your team is going to definitely be trash if your starting point guard, not your backup point guard, your starting point guard has those kind of atrocious numbers. Usually you want your point guard to actually be pretty good at least free throw shooting. I mean, but less than 2, like 65%, that means he can't even get 2 out of 3 shots to land when no one's moving and no one's guarding him. That's not acceptable, not for a point guard. But what happened was the play broke down, and LeBron broke down basically because he scored almost 40 points. He can only do so much. He just ran out of gas. And there was a look-up posterized dunk from, I think, Nick Claxton on LeBron. You almost feel bad when you see it. Almost. But he posterized LeBron, and it was just nasty. It was a nasty dunk towards the end of the game. But what happened was, and before this, I saw some footage. Russell Westbrook was actually just flinging the ball. He was just down there flinging the ball. At one point, he hit the very top of the backboard. And I'm like, bro, what were you aiming at? Not the rim. You're not going to bank it from the top of the backboard, but it was hilarious. He gets the ball. He's got a, free line right to it. right to the goal. All he has to do is just get there and a little bit of a little baby layup. Just a little layup. That's all he has to do. And I think that would maybe that would be 1 point back, maybe tied, I'm not sure. But it was as easy as you could even see, like an easy line right to the basket. But what does he have to do? Russell Westbrook is all about Russell Westbrook. He makes bad basketball decisions. So his 6'2", 6'3" self thinks he's 6'6", and he jumps up, he tries to dunk it, and he gets blocked. Blocked by not a player on the Nets team, but he gets blocked by the rim. All he had to do was just, that's what Curry does, Curry knows he's not tall enough to, consistently dunk it. Curry can dunk on the Warriors, but, he always opts for the, layup. It's much more efficient. But no, Russell Westbrook gets blocked by the rim, and they still probably would have lost the game. But still, if you're looking at that, you're looking at that like LeBron, and you're just like, what's going on? And I think there was another point, might have been this game or another game, where LeBron was actually just kind of like waiting. He was on the 3-point line. It might have been this game, maybe later. I'm not sure when. But Russell Westbrook was going right to the rim, and LeBron was open for a three. Now, LeBron is not great from the 3-point line. He can get a little streaky, but towards the end of a game, I'm putting my money on LeBron at the 3-point line versus Russell Westbrook doing anything. Now, the Lakers are on a 4 or 5 game losing streak, but here's the good news. They have a great opportunity tonight to get back to 500. They're on the road, baby, the road to 500, if they could take care of a bad team in the Houston Rockets. Thing is, the Houston Rockets are a bad team, but I think they did win 7 or 8 in a row a couple weeks back. So they can actually get a little streaky, and they're a young team, so I don't know. We'll see if the Lakers can beat the lowly Houston Rockets and put one in the win column. Other than that, the Hawks and Knicks, I tell you what, Kemba Walker is on the Knicks this year, and he's not looked good until lately. He had a triple-double, I think, in this game, and didn't he score 40 in the last game? Yeah, so it's good to see. It's great to see Kemba Walker, doing his thing. He's got them killer step-back threes. He could still, get to the basket for some easy buckets. So, yeah, I'm glad to see Kemba Walker make a little bit of a comeback here. But, yeah, did any of you see these games? If so, let me know in the comment section down below what you thought of them.